while Kelly was an emotional wreck, causing concern for her recovery.
It really hurts like right here.
I'm really concerned about Kelly Alemi's attitude. She's been whining and depressed after surgery.
The Swan is quite possibly the worst plastic surgery reality show of all time. And honestly, I watched some episodes of The Swan and it makes me kind of upset. So I invite you to watch this episode of The Swan with me and let's see what you and I think.
My name is Kelly Alemi. I would never think anyone would be looking at me and think that I'm pretty. I don't like my legs, my boobs. I don't like to show my body at all.
Now this is sad because she is a pretty young woman, and for her to have such low self-esteem, it makes me feel sad for her. So, I mean, hopefully we've got some good news here coming up for her.
Kelly's plan features several procedures starting with her face. She'll have a brow lift, lip enhancement, liposuction of her chin and cheeks, several visits to the dermatologist, collagen, and LASIK eye surgery.
Okay, so this is, as a list, a lot of different things, but when you actually go through them one by one, they aren't that extreme. Now looking at her, I don't know that I think she would benefit that much from a brow lift. If she wants her brows a little higher, maybe a touch of Botox would be nice. As far as the liposuction under her chin, that's fine. That's a relatively minimally invasive operation. Maybe removing a little bit of fat from the cheek hollows, that sometimes too can be very minimally invasive. And then all the cosmetic treatments from her dermatologist, these are all things that can be done really in a one-time visit that are all just to kind of rejuvenate the skin and smooth the skin out. So far, nothing real crazy here, so that's good.
For Kelly's body, she'll have breast augmentation and liposuction in 6 different areas.
Wow, that's a lot of lipo. And they included even areas like her ankles, which some people do get liposuction of the ankles. I do see some people where they have excess fat around the ankle area. And yes, people call them cankles.
And stop saying I have cankles.
And also liposuction of the buttock, also not actually that common. The problem with liposuctioning the buttocks specifically, people think, oh, if you liposuction my butt, it's going to make my butt small and round. No, in general, if you liposuction the butt, it causes the butt to look flat and even droopy.
Dental procedures will include Zoom bleaching, Da Vinci veneers, cleaning, and repairing her teeth.
Now that also seems pretty reasonable. Whitening, veneers, and repairing of issues with the teeth, I mean, hey, if she gets it for free, good for her.
For her fitness transformation, Kelly will be put on a 1,200 calorie a day diet and spend quite a bit of time in the gym. For confidence and self-esteem, she will undergo weekly therapy and coaching.
So that all seems really good, except 1,200 calories a day. That is not a lot of calories. Most of you watching this video, you probably eat maybe 2,000 calories a day, maybe up to 3. 1,200 is not a lot of food. And if you're going to be exercising a ton, and if you're going to undergo surgery, you may go into surgery malnourished, which is not a good idea.
From Kelly's file, she's clearly going to need a lot of body work and major liposuction. But enhancing her facial features and really defining her face could be the ticket to getting her into the pageant.
Doesn't Dr. Dubrow look so young here? Now this show was probably in the early 2000s, so you're talking that he was like 20 years younger than what you see him on Botched nowadays. So in The Swan, basically you take women, not men, just women, who feel that they are not happy with their appearance. They undergo a ton of plastic surgery and all these transformative changes to make it to the pageant at the end because they want to, I guess, win the pageant. It's the pageant that, in my opinion, is honestly kind of a horror show. It's just weird.
All we have to do is do liposuction. That'll help define your chin better. Maybe a little bit of fat we could remove from here, and it would look really good.
Liposuctioning under the chin we call submental liposuction. And a lot of people have subcutaneous fat, that's fat below the skin and above the muscle, that we can liposuction in a very quick, easy operation. You can also remove fat from the inside of the cheeks using a buccal fat removal, where there's a little chunk of fat inside each cheek hollow that you can take out from the inside of the mouth. And that helps to create a bit of a contouring of the cheek hollow, and is a procedure that actually Chrissy Teigen admitted to having done. Both of these procedures will basically give her a more streamlined type of an appearance, and I guess a more contoured appearance of her face.
We can put breast implants in, and that will raise the breasts up nice.
Now in general, I agree with Dr. Dubrow probably 95% or more of the time when I see his recommendations on TV. However, this is where I would disagree with him. Breast implants do not lift the breast at all. They just make the breasts larger. I have patients come see me all the time saying, I just want some implants to make my breasts look lifted. Unfortunately, the only way to lift a breast is to actually do a breast lift. Implants, if anything, will do the opposite of a breast lift. They will make the breast bigger and heavier and more prone to drooping with time.
The first step is thorough cleaning, then filling cavities, bleaching, and prepping for veneers. She has a couple cracked teeth in the front. She'll have to come back to get her permanent veneers on.
So what exactly is a veneer? A veneer basically is a porcelain covering that is put over a tooth. Now sometimes portions of the tooth need to be removed for the veneer to fit on top of it. Other times you can fit the veneer on top of your original tooth. I would estimate that the vast majority of Hollywood celebrities have veneers or they have caps. Caps are similar to veneers, but instead of putting them over teeth that have been minorly altered, with caps you have to literally shave the tooth down to kind of like a nubbin and then put the cap over it. And there are people on TikTok who share their videos of them prior to getting their caps done where they have had their teeth literally chiseled down to these tiny little nubbins, and they're like in their 20s. I mean, it's in general not necessary when you are that young. Just do some teeth whitening instead. That would be much healthier for your mouth overall than to replace normal teeth with porcelain.
I have a drawing for you that my friends made before I left. They each picked a part that I want to have done, so each part's going to get dedicated to them.
You want to look like this.
Yeah, just like that.
Well, that's a little bit weird. So like you're her friend and let's say you pick her breasts and so then she names her breasts after you or her butt? Odd. Very odd.
Let's start on the right.
What area are you doing right now?
I'm doing the lower buttock area.
That would be for Jerry.
Jerry, this butt's for you.
Dr. Dubrow was funny even way back then.
Doing breast augmentation now. This along with the liposuction and some really hard gym workout will give her a killer body.
So Dr. Dubrow is performing the breast implant surgery and the liposuction, which my guess is they probably removed a few liters of fat from her. Now the FDA does not recommend removing more than 5 liters of fat in one setting unless you have blood products available or you're having it done in an actual hospital. If I had to guess just from these videos and photos, I'd say maybe she had about 3 liters of fat removed from her, and that's a pretty substantial amount.
While Kelly was an emotional wreck, causing concern for her recovery.
It really hurts like right here.
I'm really concerned about Kelly Alemi's attitude. She's been whining and depressed after surgery.
I'm really concerned about her coach's attitude. That's not very nice at all. The woman underwent all these operations. There is something called plastic surgery regret, and people often get that in the first week or two after surgery when they're all swollen, they're uncomfortable, and they wonder, did I do the right thing? This is actually very common, and if you are an actual coach, you should know this and support the person. That's why I don't like this show. Now she looks amazing, but this whole reveal thing is just really weird. Who are all these old men that are standing there clapping and stuff? I mean, I recognize Dr. Dubrow, but who are all these other weirdos? She does look amazing, and I have to give credit to Dr. Dubrow. He performed a number of surgical operations on her, and she does not look done. She does not look plastic. She does not look unnatural. Really kudos to him. Hats off to Dr. Dubrow.
Kelly, behind that curtain, there's a mirror. I'm going to ask you to walk up to the curtain. Deep breath.
Come on with me.
I'm not coming with you.
So this is the horror show part of it where the contestant, the patient, has actually not seen herself in months. So they cover up all mirrors or any reflective surfaces so she does not know what she looks like. It's like the contestants on Survivor who haven't looked at themselves in like 6 or 8 weeks because there's no way to see themselves.
Me?
Okay, is she upset? Is she sad?
I cannot believe this is me.
Well, you better believe it, Kelly, because it is.
It is.
Yes, it is. And you look amazing.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel beautiful.
And you are.
Phew! For a while there, I seriously thought that she was really upset with how she looked. I mean, because she hasn't seen herself in so long, she doesn't know what she's going to look like. Would she recognize the person in the mirror? And thank God her reaction was actually a very positive one, because dang, if it was negative, that would suck.
Kelly was a ball of nerves from the start and struggled every step of the way. Her fight to transform was tough, but she's conquered her fears and embraced beauty.
Well, I really hope that this is a very positive transformation for Kelly. She is a beautiful young woman, plastic surgery or not, and I hope that she can feel that on the inside and help her inside self-esteem and self-confidence as well. If you have an update on what happened to Kelly, would love to hear about it in the comments below. Now, this isn't the only episode of The Swan that I've reacted to. You gotta take a peek at this episode of The Swan, because this one is really out there, and I was not happy with how they treated this person. So check it out right up here, and remember, eat real food, use clean skincare, and auto-juvenate before you operate.